Hello guys, how are you? My name is Grace Atieno Luande. Welcome to my channel. If you like it, please subscribe. I'm here to talk about teenage education, and I've been handling this as a topic so that parents can know on how to handle their children. Today I am here to talk about sex education in teenagers, and that is what we want to talk about: sex education in teenagers. And specifically, I have noted parents' attitude towards sex education to their children. We've notified and we've studied that most parents don't want to talk about sex to their children. Some of them consider it as a taboo. Some of the parents consider it as fear. Yet they're really devastated, or they are fearful to touch on those issues regarding sex to their children. Some parents feel that it is the duty of the teachers to teach those things from school. And today we want to learn why it is important as a parent, why we should consider talking to our children about sex education. And number one, we want to learn about traditional concept of sex education, Christianity concept of sex education, and modern concept of sex education. Now, we are going to start with traditional concept of sex education. And what is this? This is to touch on how traditions have affected us in regarding to teaching our children about sex education. For example, in Luo culture, I can say that these things were talked about to our teenagers, but not directly from our parents. You will find that if a child has grown to a certain age, perhaps he's 13, 14 to 15 years, that child is taken to his or her grandmother, where she or he will be taught. Girls will be taught how to take care of themselves and how to handle themselves in front of men, and will be taught about changes that are happening on their bodies, because we realize that when these children are growing, they start developing breast, they start for the girls, they start developing hips for the girls, and some of these girls at that age, they become afraid of the changes that are happening in their bodies. It was the duties of the aunties and the grandmother and grandfathers to teach them on how to handle these issues. And these issues were never handled by the parents themselves. So you find that child feels that there are things she or he is not free to tell his or her parent about issues that are affecting their lives sexually. I have talked about one culture, which is Luo traditional culture. I don't know how you used to handle it in your culture, but now my culture, that is how we used to handle the adolescent. I'm going to go to the Christianity concept of sex education. In the Christianity concept, I feel that Christians feel that it is not right for them to talk about sex education to their children. And most of the Christian children, they find out themselves about sex education, or they are taught in school, because in school I understand there are topics regarding to the changes in the body and sexuality, and these things are not handled in church. So Christianity, in the concept of sex education, I feel Christianity have never ever evolved itself fully, unless nowadays, because now I'm not a teenager, but back then there used to be nothing of that sort. You learned these things from school, or you learned them from other people who are not your parents and not your pastors, or those who are not people from the church. Now, we are looking at the modern concept of sex education. Now, this is whereby parents have failed to take care of their children in terms of educating them about sex. Religion has also failed to take care of their children in terms of sex knowledge. Tradition concept has also failed because these days people don't really uh, involve themselves in traditional concept of life. So we are in modern concept of life. Now, what are these? How are these modern concepts of life affecting our children? Because now we find our children knowing about sex in the social media, knowing about sex through the videos that they are watching via their phones, via their tablets, and on their laptops. Because nowadays there is also access of internet, there is pornographic material. So as a parent, you are quiet somewhere thinking that your child is reading using his tablet or his computer or whatever it is you've given him, but him in his mind, or in his room, he's learning about sexual concepts that he or she should not even have access to at that particular age. For example, if your child now watches pornographic materials, he or she at the age of 13 to 14 will start identifying that, oh my god, it is normal to have breast. Or she has same breast as mine. Some of the body parts that she has, I also have them. So they will be knowing about these things, but in a correct manner. So today I wanted to discuss it. It is right for you as a parent to talk about sex to your child. When you talk about sex to your child, you bring that child closer to you, and you find that child can be able to tell you anything that is in his mind about. You will also be able to learn more about sex from him, if at all he knows 1 or 2, 3 things. Boys are supposed to attach themselves to their father, because we realize in boys there are also wet dreams, whom me as a woman, I will not address it, because I have never experienced wet dreams. I don't know how they come about. Same as to the girls, we have to teach them on how to handle themselves even during menstruation cycle period, which the men cannot really educate their children on. So as parents, they are advised to involve themselves in the children welfare so that they can help their children grow effectively. In our next video, we will learn about hygiene in the adolescent. I thank you for watching my video. Please click subscribe. Thank you.